Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown, of course. We're on another episode of Cherika Be Talking because I be talking. On today's episode, we're going to discuss what makes a man respectable. And I'm just going to talk off the dome on this particular topic. What brought me to this topic is, like we said, everything going on in the media and just things that I've always noticed in the community in general. I notice one thing with younger boys when it comes to them like having respect or admiration for a man or an OG or just any man that's older than them, to like just have somebody to look up to as a father figure or just that male figure, is typically a man that makes a lot of money. Like he ain't got to do nothing else as long as he's financially stable and he take care of his family and kids financially. That man just becomes the standard for everybody and just who every boy feel like he aspired to be. And the problem with that, while there's not a problem with that because we live in a society and a world, and just foundationally anyways, a man is supposed to be a provider, a protector, and just do everything for his family. The issue comes in when there's nothing behind that to support that provision or to make that man a true man and a respectable man, like at the core. And I know a lot of men probably won't even listen to the message or hear it out because they don't want to hear what no woman got to say about who a real man is. But as a woman, I would want to hear what a man has to say about what they view as a real woman. Not because I'm going to change myself, but it's good to see because sometimes the male and the female mind could work differently. But the three things that I think of automatically when I think of what makes a man respectable to me, I think of faithfulness to God, his family and community, accountability, and responsibility. And I feel like anything else in life that you look as a man, you look at a man to have or to be able to acquire or bring about should be able to fall under each of those three categories. When I say faithfulness to God and his family and his community, faithfulness to me in this sense, how I'm thinking of it, means you're devoted. And devotion looks like you give yourself, you put yourself not last, but you put others before you. And putting others before you looks like faithfulness to God, your family, your community. And in a sense, what faithfulness means in this context to me is being trustworthy, being honest, being committed to one woman, being able to put your worldly and your fleshly desires aside and consider other people. If we are quite honest, I know a lot of people, I have even cousins and family members that say, oh, I don't care nothing about my daddy. I don't want to know the man. I don't. But in a perfect world, everybody would like to know their father. Fathers are so important in our community. And for a man to be faithful to his wife or to his children's mom, that means the world to a child. That means everything, not only to the mom, but to a child, just to know that, oh, like my daddy really care about my mama. Like to see that love being expressed, that faithfulness, it shapes and molds a young man into a great man. And I think that's the issue with everything that's going on, even in Atlanta with the little rappers beefing and everything, because all of the people that they like, oh, I look up to you or I respect you. And it's like, what do you respect about this person? His popularity, like because he make money? Because even at a certain age, in my eyes, when I think of a real man, I don't think of an overly grown man that's spending most of his time smoking weed, or drinking or always needing a shot. Like at a certain age and maturity, to be a real man and to be a leader, it's just certain things you have to turn away from and decide, you know what, I ain't gonna do this no more. Because a man is a leader. A man is just that forefront of the family that shows his sons how to live life and how to operate life and how to move throughout life and just how to treat people, while also showing his daughter the type of man that she should want or the type of man that she should attract, or what the qualities a man should have, even if a man is the complete opposite of what her dad is. So that's what I think of when I think of like faithfulness. And when I say to the community as well, because a lot of people be like, oh, I never knew my daddy, but Or, oh, black families don't have a father figure, which that's really a lie when you think about it. Because even if a person, a young boy growing up in a black neighborhood, don't have their biological father, we've always had uncles, cousins, neighbors, coaches. Like, we've always had male influences in the communities that people honestly look at as a father figure. Just think about it. If a young boy never met his daddy and he have this man step into his life and teach him how to be a man, in that boy's head, that's his dad. Like, even if you don't call him dad, his respect for him will show that of a father-son relationship. And when I say accountability is important because it's easy to blame the other person. And a lot of grown men have this tendency, whether they are real men or not. Even you'll notice in relationships, like, it'll be little subtle stuff where it's just easier to be like, oh, my wife forgot to do that, my wife did that, or my wife, like, dang, how she didn't do that. It's some things, just as a man, even when it's not your fault, when you take accountability, you start to resolve issues, kingdom issues, like a man should be able to, when you even take on other people's problems. And, like, not necessarily take on other people's problems, but you find a way that you can be a solution to a problem that you possibly didn't even create. Or when you do mess up, because we all are human, you know how to say sorry. You know how to say you were wrong. You know how to look the people who you disappointed in the eyes and say, I messed up, but I'm going to change, and this is how I'm going to change, and this is how I'm going to hold myself accountable, and this is how I probably need y'all around me who love me to hold me accountable too, because I'm weak right now. Like, for a man to be able to express himself and to just talk and speak and admit to his wrongdoings, that's accountability, and that makes you a real man. And responsibility is the third one I said. When I think of responsibility, I just think of taking care of home, taking care of yourself, and just taking care of anything that you're capable of taking care of. Responsibility can be found in the little things. Responsibility can be in something as simple as seeing something that needs to be done and you just take the initiative to do it. You're not waiting on other people to do something or make another move. I know a lot of men in this generation, in particular young boys, seem to have the little petty, sassy attitude, like, I didn't do it because I was just waiting to see what they were going to do. What a grown man does is lead by example, and leading by example comes with responsibility. You know that you have a duty, you know that you made a vow to people, and you know you brought people into this world that did not ask to be here. When you take care of those things, you are a responsible man, and you're a stand-up guy. People honor and respect responsible men because they understand that, wow, he probably didn't even feel like it. Or even when he tired, I never see him give up. Like, I never see him take off. I never see him neglect his responsibilities. That's a stand-up guy. So when you're faithful, accountable, and responsible, and all of the other worldly things that y'all try to say, like, oh, a man that take care of his family and about his money, he a businessman. Like, all of those things can fall under these things. But my whole point of this video is to tell you what makes you a real man is having morals, character, and just standards about yourself. And when you have those things, the money and the stuff, all of those things become a byproduct. It comes with that. So make sure you are taking care of your heart posture, you're praying to God, and you're becoming a good person on the inside out, not the outside in. Because everybody can look good and flashy, but who are you to your core? Who are you when nobody is looking? That's what matters. What will the people closest to you that see your behind the scenes, like what the world can't see, what will they stand up at, like your funeral or at your birthday? Like, what will they say about you? When you're no longer here, what will people remember about you? Because at the end of the day, saying the whole Atlanta knew you, the whole rap game knew you, or you had 500,000 followers, or you had 1 million followers, like, none of that is going to matter. What's going to matter is the legacy that you leave behind, the impression on your children for generations that you left behind, because who you are as morally as a person is what you're going to instill into your children and inspire them to be, and they will pass it on to your children for generations to come. So that's something to really think about. What makes you a real man? Like, are you a real man? And whatever you feel like a real man is. But y'all know I'll be back because I'll be talking.